Bill Platt again with another installment of my video series, Bill Platt for Authors. If you go to BillPlattForAuthors.com, you can get on my mailing list, and I do send out tips and tricks for all my subscribers, generally once a day, sometimes more than one a day, and I do send out a lot of free information for folks. So do check that out. If you like what you find on this channel, you can click the subscribe button below in YouTube, and they will notify you when I have new videos available. Now, I have mentioned previously, I know that the video quality is bad here, but it's about the content. I'm not too worried about the video quality right now until I get set up in my new house and get the HD camera set up. So right now, poor video quality, but great content. So I'm going to go ahead and get started with this one. I've got a short video for you here. And what I want to discuss with you right now is to do with your promotion and promoting yourself as an author. And what I would like to recommend for you to do is go over to Author Central, which is owned by Amazon, and you can create an account there. And please note with the Author Central, if you have a Kindle account at kdp.amazon.com, you can only have one Kindle account. But when you go over to Author Central, it's operated a little bit differently. So while you can have one Kindle account with multiple pen names, all of your pen names in the same account, and everything goes through one central account and central payment system. When you go over to Author Central, you can only have one email address per author or per pen name. And so you can go over to like Yahoo or whatever and set up a free account for each of your pen names. Or if you have a domain for your author website or whatever, you can create sub email accounts for that domain. If you create like a forwarder email within your website, you can forward all this. What the forwarder does is it basically catches incoming email and sends it to another location. So you can set up individual forwarder accounts for each of your pen names and forward it to your central email address that you use for all your email. So when you go to Author Central, you will have to have a unique email address for each of the pen names that you want to create an Author Central account for. Now, Author Central will provide you a lot of benefits that you don't get directly through the Kindle program. And part of that is they do show you some stats. One of my greatest complaints, number one complaint with Amazon, is they don't share with us the information about like how many people visited our webpage, or not necessarily our webpage, but how many people visited our book listing, and of those, how many bought. So we have no way of determining what our conversion rate is on our book listing page. And that drives me nuts. You would think, Bezos, if you're listening, listen. If we know, if we understand what our conversion rate is on people landing on our book listing page on the Amazon website, then we can make adjustments to our sales copy. And guess what? That will enable us to sell more books, which is going to make you more money, Bezos. Pay attention. Pull your head out, okay? That's my number one complaint with Amazon, period. But if you go into Author Central, they will give you some data. Not a lot of data, but they will give you some data that you can use to kind of understand who is visiting your book listings on Amazon. Not a lot of useful data, but data nonetheless. The other advantage of having an Author Central account is once you have an Author Central account, you can create a bio for your pen name. And with your bio, you can link to a website. And it also allows you to go in there and claim all of your books that is written by that pen name. So if, like in my case, there's not too many Bill Platts around, okay? But if my name is John Smith, there's probably 30 John Smiths on Amazon. And you can go into your John Smith account on Author Central and say, this is my book, and this is my book, and this is my book. And basically add each of those books to your Author Central profile. And then that way, when somebody's navigating the Amazon website or they're looking at your book listing, now your pen name will be a clickable link. And when you click that link to go to read about the author, you'll have the bio that you set up inside of Author Central inside your author page on Amazon. And if you have your personal information there, and you can include an email address if you want, but not recommended. You can include your author website. That is recommended. So all that information is going to be in your author. You set up within Author Central, and it'll appear inside Amazon as your author page. So I do recommend you do that for all your primary pen names. I've got like 30 pen names inside Amazon. I've only got the Author Central set up for about 7 or 8 of them. But they are my primaries, you know. They're the ones that have created a lot of books, okay? So you do want to set that up. Now, the second thing I want to discuss with you is if you're doing like a Kindle book, you will want to link to A, your author blog, or B, your author page on Amazon within your book. Now, you can put direct hyperlinks in there, make them clickable links from your Kindle book to go to your author page on Amazon, and also to go to your author blog on your own website. And that way you can use it to kind of self-promote yourself. And that's perfectly legitimate within the Kindle platform. There's nothing wrong with us doing that. The issue is, if you're going to publish that book outside of Amazon, you don't want to use the Amazon link. So, say for example, you chose, if you're in KDP Select, you got to be exclusive to Amazon. However, if you don't put your book into KDP Select, then you can put on any other platform where you might want to publish your digital book, like Smashwords or Draft to Digital or a wide range of other websites, okay? If your digital ebook is being published on Barnes & Noble, you don't want an Amazon link in the book. That's going to piss off Barnes & Noble, right? Because you're promoting the competition. If you have your Kindle link in the book pointing to your Amazon author page, you don't want to submit the same manuscript to Smashwords or to Draft to Digital, because that's going to annoy people. And the way it breaks down is consumers are a funny thing. And I'm guilty of it too. So when I say consumers are funny, I'm making fun of myself too, okay? Need you to understand that. So what happens is most consumers only buy from specific stores. So there's some people who only buy from Walmart. And there are some people who only buy from Target. And some people only buy from Amazon. And some people only buy from eBay. Okay? And I tend to favor Walmart and Amazon, right? If I'm buying online, I'm buying at Amazon. If I'm buying in person, I'm buying at Walmart. Now my wife, she's completely different to me. She is always looking for the best deal. So she'll go look at 5 or 6 different stores. And every time we discuss shopping habits, she tells me I'm so stupid for not going to Aldi's, because Aldi's has better prices than Walmart. But I keep going to Walmart because I'm stubborn like that. Okay? So people get set in their ruts. There are certain things we do out of habit. And we will always do those things out of habit. So if you have your book on Amazon, you can reach Amazon's customers. But if your book is not on Barnes & Noble, you can't reach Barnes & Noble's customers because they likely do not shop at Amazon. So kind of keep this in mind when you're setting up your book distribution. But make sure you don't link to Amazon from the copy of the book that's being published on Barnes & Noble. I hope that makes sense. You don't want to annoy people. So if you're publishing a book to Barnes & Noble, you don't want to link out of that book to anything other than Barnes & Noble. Okay? You don't even want to link to Draft2Digital or Smashwords. Even though in most cases that's the only reason we're using Draft2Digital or Smashwords is so that they can give us that expanded distribution into Barnes & Noble, the Apple Store, and Google Play. Okay? So when you're putting on these other platforms, maybe you just only link to your author blog. You don't link to your author page on Amazon. But if you're publishing on Kindle, do link to your author page on Amazon. Okay? And you can also link to your author blog. So that's one of the things we want to take into account there. If you're publishing a print book, you don't want to put the link in for the digital book. You only want to point them to your author blog. Again. Now here's one of the things that's fabulous about publishing on Amazon or any of these platforms. If you make a change, say for example you forgot to renew your blog, your domain, and you lost your domain. You think, oh my God, it's over. I no longer have traffic from my books going to that website that I forgot to pay for, right? You lost that and somebody else snagged it. Now I had that happen one time. It wasn't entirely my fault. My domain registrar collected the money from me but did not order from the central clearinghouse, and then I lost my domain because my registrar screwed me. Okay? They took my money but didn't renew my domain. They lied to me in my control panel. And they actually got taken over by ICANN and given to another company, all their customers, because they got caught screwing their customers, right? So they got put out of business. And, you know, I lost 2 domains due to that. But I'm going to assume that most of you will never have that happen to you. But you may forget, or maybe you had an expired credit card on the account, and you lost your domain. And you think, oh my God, I've got my link to my author blog in all these books. Well, guess what? With Amazon and with all the other platforms, you can fix your manuscript and upload it brand new. But you don't have to kill the old listing and start a new listing when you upload your book. So when you upload a new copy of your manuscript to Amazon for the particular book that you have listed, Amazon will actually send out an email to their customers letting them know that, hey, Bill Platt just uploaded a new copy of his book that you purchased last year. So now there's an email going out to everybody who bought my book for the last year, and then they can get into that book and find out, oh, new website. Okay? So now they know my new website address. And that's one of the things that's beautiful about publishing in the digital world. If there's anything that changes, or you upgrade the book in any way, you can upload the new manuscript to Amazon or wherever, and they will notify your previous customers that you've upgraded your manuscript. So it's a slightly different book than what it was the first time you uploaded. So you can fix all your errors. And maybe you put up there and you had some spelling mistakes and some grammar mistakes. You and your editor missed it. And I've had that happen before when I was writing articles. There was one particular article I wrote, and I edited it, and I always over-edit. I do 4, 5, 6 edits. And then I turned it over to my editor, my in-house editor, because at the time I was doing a lot of volume, and I actually had an editor in-house. And she went through the article. Then she sent it back to me, and I took one more spin through the article, and then I published it. And I got published on a website that had an audience of 750,000 readers. And as soon as that article published, and here's the deal, the website who published the website, they have an editor that also goes through and makes sure there's no spelling mistakes. And as soon as it published, my email box started filling up with people telling me I screwed up in paragraph 1, and here's how I screwed up, and are you an idiot? Are you an idiot, Bill? You're selling writing services and you got a spelling mistake in your very first paragraph? It's embarrassing. But, it happens. I missed it. My editor missed it. The magazine's editor missed it. And I went through it like 6 times, and I missed it. So, sometimes we put our books out there and there's mistakes, and we don't notice them till later. In fact, I sent an email out to my list last night, and I liked the email, and I sent it out, and then I just happened to glance over at it and read it through one more time and found out I made a mistake. I have a spelling mistake in that email I sent last night. It happens, We can't really worry about it. We do the best we can. We put out the best book we can, and then go on. And if we find mistakes later, we can fix them. Okay? So, the Author Central will give you some benefits. The biggest benefit is that your pen name becomes clickable inside of Amazon, and people can click that and go to your author profile page on Amazon, and then from that location they can find all your books written under that particular pen name, which can drive additional sales. And that's the reason I shot this video. I want you to understand there's things you can do to encourage people to buy more books from you. Now here's where it breaks down. The number one thing people need before they hit the buy button is they need trust. They need to believe in you enough. They have to trust in you enough that they believe that their money is well spent with you. So the hardest thing is selling our first book. But once we sold that first book, we've earned their trust as a writer. We've earned their trust in our story. We've earned their trust in our characters. So once they've gone through that book, they have the trust. They're ready to buy from you again. And so being able to click that link and go learn about your other books is a huge win. Because they've already got the trust. They're ready to buy from you again. And you can do the same thing in your about the author inside your book. And this is something I recommend that all authors do. If you have more than one book available, you should have 2 segments in your back matter of the book. You should have your author bio. Bill Platt lives in Ponca City, Oklahoma, with his 2 boys and a cat. An annoying cat. A really annoying cat. Had to lock him outside the room so I could record the video. Kind of annoying cat. So this is my bio. I'm from Ponca City, Oklahoma. I've been writing for 17 years. I've worked with a lot of writers. I've got a lot of experience doing this. I specialize in nonfiction. But I can teach you a lot about writing books, okay? And promoting your books and marketing your books, right? The second portion of the back matter of your book is other books written by Bill Platt. So I can go in there and set up a second page that's nothing but links to other books I've written. Now, if you want to synchronize the same manuscript for all the different distributors of your ebook, then you would point them to your author blog. You would set up an individual page on your blog for each individual book you've written, and then link to the author blog. Don't even worry about linking to the author page on Amazon. Link to the author blog, your book listing on your blog, and then that way you can send the same manuscript to all the different distributors. And every distributor will have a copy of the book that links back to your author blog where you're talking about that particular book. Okay? So you link back to the author blog. And you can go in there and change your back matter material to say, other books written by Bill Platt. Title 1, click here. Title 2, click here. Title 3, click here. And that gives you an opportunity to sell more books to the person who had just bought a book and enjoyed that book. So that's where I want to go with this. I just want to let you know we can always change things. There's no such thing as totally screwing something up. I also want you to know about Author Central and how you can take advantage of it within the Amazon ecosphere to sell more books. And I wanted you to understand that you don't want to put an Amazon link inside Barnes & Noble book. But the way around that is to have an author blog that talks about all your books. You can point everybody to the blog, and then the blog, you can choose whether you point to Barnes & Noble or Apple or Google Play or Amazon, or you could do like BookBub does and link to all 4 of them, right? So it's just a matter of the hardest part for us is selling the first book. Once we sold that first book, we've earned the trust of the reader. Once we've earned the trust of the reader, we are more capable of selling that reader 1 more book, and 2 more books, and 3 more books. So the first one is the initial, I've won their trust. And what generally happens is you win their trust with the first book. They like your first book. And they're kind of on the fence about buying the second book because they don't know if you can deliver twice. But they'll go ahead and invest in that second book to see. And once they've read 2 of your books, if they trusted you twice, you're closer to a lifetime customer. If you do it 3 times, you're much closer to a lifetime customer. And honestly, in almost every situation, if you can sell them 3 books, they are a lifetime customer. And they're going to buy darn near everything you put out. And that is the goal for us as writers, to create a fan base, audience fan base of people who want to buy everything we produce. Okay? So, that's it for this one. My name is Bill Platt. This is the Bill Platt for Authors YouTube channel. And if you go to billplattforauthors.com, you can get on my mailing list, and I do send out daily emails. And a lot of those emails are educational emails. And you can click the link down below this video, about right there. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. And Google YouTube will let you know when I have new videos available. Now, I will be releasing a lot more of these videos. My goal is to just fill up YouTube, you know. And so I will be covering everything from how to conceive your book, how to pick your genre, how to write your book, how to publish your book, how to promote your book, how to build your audience fan base. All these are important things to book authors, and I'm going to share with you what I've learned in the last 17 years earning my money, earning my living as a professional writer. So until next time, my name is Bill Platt. Have a great one.